Hello, everyone, and welcome into the TexAgs Rewind. I don't know if that's what I did earlier. Anyway, it's brought to you by Specs. And with warmer weather on the way, it better come soon because last night was cold outside. Specs experts are here to help you raise a glass to spring with seasonal savings on all of your sunshiny cravings. Pop into Specs College Station for great deals on the season's hottest tips. We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio. We're talking about a great show. Nick Savage, your favorite part of today's show was?
Oh, man, it was a great show. Josh Pate in studio and Trisha Ford. I gave you two answers. Sorry.
Two answers. Both were great. Both were in the 9 o'clock hour. Kaylee, did you have a favorite part of the show?
Well, those were going to be my two, actually, but I'll go ahead and go with Kendall Rogers.
Kendall Rogers. Anybody else on the Rewind I need to be aware of, Nick?
Bryan Davis.
Bryan Davis, former Aggie great. He's still an Aggie great, but he was former Aggie great basketball player. He was on the program. And I got a question for you. Who's better, Riley Green or Pat Riley?
Riley Green.
You don't even know who Pat Riley is, do you? Nick, do you know who Pat Riley is?
I think so.
Oh, my. How do you guys not know
Pat
Pat Riley?
Pat Green.
Huh?
I thought you were going to go Pat Green.
Okay. Pat Green, Riley Green, Pat Riley.
Riley Green.
I still think the order goes Pat Riley, Pat Green, then Riley Green.
I don't know who Pat Riley is.
Pat Riley won, I believe, 5 championships with the Los Angeles Lakers as the head coach. He was also a player, by the way.
He's currently the president of the Miami Heat.
President of the Miami Heat. Won a championship as the head coach of the Miami Heat with Shaq and Dwayne Wade. And then later, Spoelstra took over, but he handpicked Eric Spoelstra. I'm sorry, this is a history lesson. Watch the Rewind. It's not like for new guys to be compared to legends, right? So when I think of AC, I think of, I'm not comparing him to MJ, but like the MJ LeBron comparisons, I'm like, come on, it's all MJ all day. AC and Wade. I'm kind of the same way, but Wade's in that conversation, man. He's about to have the all-time scoring record for A&M. If they do well in the tournament, he already is in the conversation. So how do you kind of just encapsulate where he is in Aggie history?
It's incredible. I've got a chance to be a part of people that kind of helped bring him in. I had a really good relationship with his AAU coach coming in. We actually played for the same coach, and just seeing what he's been able to do over these last 4 years when we're in the era of transferring and sticking with it and being committed and loyal, which is what stands for Texas A&M. He's incredible. He's incredible. He has some fight. And when you think about AC, it's very similar. They both had that Dallas atmosphere, that hard nose, that not willing to quit, not afraid to hit that ground and bounce back up. And failure is not an option. It's only a lesson. And he showed that during the course of the year, during the course of the last 4 years, to where he's willing to do anything he needs to do for the team to win on a consistent basis. And just like you said, he's up there in the conversation. It's not a is he better? It's not a are they the same? He's a part of a new era, just like this team is a new era at A&M when it comes to that winning culture back here on campus.
Hey, Bryan, everybody's excited, obviously, rightly so, for what we saw last night and for most of the season. But as you know, you're ultimately judged on what you do later this month. So when you look at this team, you know, what do you think about their prospects when we actually get into the tournament?
You say head into the conference tournament?
No, I'm talking past that.
The big tournament.
The tournament.
The big tournament.
The
tournament.
The dance.
So the way this team is built, the way this team fights, we're gonna hit you first. We're gonna shoot more free throws than you. We're gonna get more offensive rebounds than you.
What's one or two topics you're really most interested in tackling with him? Because I talked to him the other day, and I want to see
Well, I remember
something I hadn't thought of.
When we were here for the Missouri game this year, I got in early on a Friday and went and just sat in his office and talked to him for a little while. And I always love asking this of newer head coaches: how much of your thing, your program, your blueprint can you implement in 1 year? And the answer is never 100%.
Yeah.
Nobody ever tells me 100%, and he didn't either. He said, you've got the critical factors that you want to hang on the wall, but it's a multi-year process.
Yeah.
And the thing that we just talked about with David there, you get paid more money, so people think, oh, that speeds up what reality is, and it doesn't. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, the way they ended the season was terrible. And what I perceived was, all right, we come in here for the Missouri game. They blow them out. Would you say best game they played last year?
Yeah, best game, and LSU was best half.
Yeah.
Yep.
So after the Missouri game, I don't feel prior to Missouri they were on anyone's radar because they lost the Notre Dame game. And so then they beat Missouri, and then they're on everyone's radar, and then they proceed to falter down the stretch. So basically, they won when no one was looking, and then they lost when everyone was looking.
Yeah.
Is that just coincidence? Is there something more psychologically you can glean from that? And then, of course, you want to know about the guys they got in.
Yeah.
You just want to, like what I love to do with those guys is I love to toss something out like a softball. And I prefer not to do the Q&A interview stuff.
Yeah, I don't
see where they go with it.
Yeah, I don't think. And he's so easy to talk to. I didn't prepare anything, and we sat here and talked.
Yeah.
You know, we had that 10 minutes before we went on, and none of it had to do with football. You just dive in with Coach Elko, and if you're paying attention, it's a fun interview where you can just go anywhere with it. But he, you know, I think the part he referenced, he alluded to that, you know, that they were 7-1, and they operated a lot better with that chip on their shoulder, and no one expects anything from us. And they went and won at the Swamp. They went, you know, there was the Missouri game. Went up to Jerry World and had a little 4-quarter fight with Arkansas, LSU, you know, and then it went down after that. And I think it's a twofold. I think part of it is, you know, that's a cultural thing. Like you said, it doesn't matter how much you're paid. That usually takes. He told me when he first got here, I said, when is it your program? He said, it takes a full year.
Florida ranks #1 in batting average, #2 in slugging, #2 in scoring, averaging 9.29 runs a game. Just what challenges are the Gators going to give y'all this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're going to have to keep those bats quiet as much as we can, keep their speed. Falby, I think, has reached base every game this year so far. Speed doesn't have an off day, right? That's the beauty of it. So I think that'll be one. They have a freshman kid that's tearing it up. They have Jocelyn Erickson. They have some other pieces obviously doing a great job. So, you know, every swing has a hole. It's whether or not we can consistently hit that hole and change speed. So the good thing is we have a lot of different looks. So they're going to have to prep for, you know, 6 pitchers, and we're going to make it a nightmare.
So I don't think we've talked about Sydney Lessentine, but last week I was disappointed she didn't win the SEC Freshman of the Week. This week she wins it, gets the no-hitter. Just, I guess, talk about, like, not only is she producing, but, like, now that there's expectations in producing, it's a different kind of production.
Yeah, I think, honestly, she is growing up, and she's starting to understand some things. She's starting to understand why I get on her in certain situations. You know, like, she's starting to see those pieces kind of come together. And I think it's also because of both of our Emilys. Like, you have 2 players that have been in our program for a very long time. She can lean on them. That's the beauty of having somebody like Emily Kennedy, Emily Levitt in your program that's been there. Kennedy obviously been super successful, and you have a freshman that you think has the stuff, but they need some time to kind of figure it out. So we give them some matchups that we feel like they're going to be super, you know, really successful. And then they also have some of those older kids to lean on of, like, okay, this is what you've done in the past. What do you think?
Sure.
You know, and so I think that's really where you see a lot of growth happen.
You are 1 win away from 100 at Texas A&M. But just talking about the 12th man, we spoke about it a little bit yesterday in media availability, just taking a second to maybe go out of the dugout and just take in the environment. Just what do you think it's going to be like this weekend? How ready are you just to continue to put a product in the field the 12th man loves?
Yeah, I think we're amped, honestly. We're ready to start conference play. I think the 12th man, I've gotten a lot of text messages from our alumni.
Yeah, I mean, I think what it does is kind of gives you a measuring stick of what you need to improve on in conference. I mean, I think, you know, if you look around the country, there's plenty of teams, I kind of point. I mean, Florida's a bad example because, I mean, frankly, what they did last year was unheard of, finishing 500 and getting to Omaha and, you know, almost making a run there. But for the most part, I mean, if you struggle in non-conference, typically you're not going to do very good in conference play in the SEC. And what's really worrisome if you're A&M is it's not like you're going into conference play and you've got this schedule that is very manageable. I mean, you've got a schedule where you're going to Austin, you're going to Knoxville, you're playing LSU. You're going to Vanderbilt. I mean, you've got probably the first, second, or third toughest schedule in interconference schedule in that league. And so what that does is that really leaves you with very little margin for error in non-conference. I mean, if you don't take care of business in non-conference, I mean, you're probably going to need to win 17, 18 games in conference to be in a pretty good position to host. I mean, I don't know about you, but this does not look like a team that's winning 17 or 18 games in the SEC this year.
No, it doesn't. But can you name one area of A&M's baseball team outside of starting pitching, at least your weekend rotation, that has met expectations or exceeded expectations?
Not at all. I mean, offensively, obviously, I mean, not even close. I mean, for this team to be, and I was just looking at it a minute ago. I mean, for this team to be sitting at dead last, I mean, this team is dead last in the SEC in hitting right now. And I mean, it's not like they've even played a tough schedule. They haven't. They've played a very, very average to below average non-conference schedule, and they are last in the SEC. A&M is last in the SEC in hitting. A&M is 11th in the SEC in pitching, most of that because of the bullpen at times. A&M is last in the SEC in fielding, and by a pretty decent clip. It's 11 percentage points that they're behind the 15th place team, Missouri. So I will say this. You can have a really good offense all you want, which they don't even have right now. You can have a good pitching staff all you want, which they have really good starting pitching. That's the one thing that gives me a little bit of hope with this team if you're A&M. But if you don't play defense in modern college baseball and you don't play defense in this conference, I mean, I don't care who you are, you're screwed.
I think Kaylee's not happy with me. Kaylee, please tell the people what to do. Do you see the look you just did? You should slow that down as a meme. It was like this.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
You're like, when you tell your kids to like to take out the trash. That's the look you gave me. Like, oh, Mom.
I didn't mean to.
Oh my God. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.